Shalom, with the real Hebrew Israelites coming in week week out to prophesy the downfall of Esau, 2/3, and the other nations. Before we get started, want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Baal Shem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders out in New York of GMS who rule well, and other brothers that's preaching this truth around the world.
To you brothers around the world pushing this truth and sincerity, salutation, shalom.
Shalom. Basically, this is a response video from a brother,
Elder Yakia,
Elder
of
Yakia.
the Chicago camp.
Okay.
So this is a response video to him about putting off the old man being spiritual, right?
Yeah, put off the weak nature.
Put off the weak nature being spiritual. Okay.
Okay.
So
This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. So our flesh is made to actually go off. You know what I'm saying? Our flesh is born into sin. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to come with a spiritual side. You know, this truth.
it was an inherited sin. As the scripture says, by one man sin entered into the world, and that type of thing. So it was embedded in the flesh. Go ahead.
Now, when you look up conversation, it goes to the Greek word anastrophe, and it says manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment. So it's you need to get away from that behavior, that conduct, and how you how you act in your life, how you behave yourself in life, the worldly things. Basically, you got to get away from that and have a spiritual side. You know what I'm saying? Which is this truth, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Of these scriptures. Verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you got to forget all the things that you were taught. You know what I'm saying?
And all the things that you enjoy in this world.
Right.
It's wicked. And if you try to be hooked to this word, it says if you're hooked to this word, you're enmity to the Most High. Okay, so you got to put this whole thing aside. As far as Elder Yakia like to say, money, cars, clothes, and hoes, and all these other mindsets that you've been brought up to believe. Getting a degree and doing all these other kinds of things to try to get ahead in this world. I mean, just looking at the prophecies and what's going on in the world, you can see that the money system is getting ready to collapse anyway. So why would you even want to be hooked to this?
Verse 24, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created in righteousness and true holiness.
So putting on that new man, that means that all the other stuff, like we were saying just a second ago, all that old shit, we putting it off. So just because this female's at the job, or you was at this spot and whatnot, she was talking to her dude, but you walked into the restaurant or whatever the case, it might get you into a Baba's or whatever the case might be, and want to get you a gyro sandwich or whatever the case it might be, she looked you up and down. She peeped the car that you pulled up in, and now all of a sudden she's good to go and whatnot. But you're here on the phone with a man, and whatnot. You tell her, I can't get down like that. You got to do. And she like, he don't count. He don't matter. Fuck. You got to put all that shit. All that shit is wickedness and hooked to this world. So you put that shit off. Going with the scriptures. Besides, these hoes are ratchet anyway. Why'd you even want to do that? But go ahead, on.
But yeah, just you know what I'm saying, land back off of what you're saying and stuff like that. Yeah, that situation is wicked. You gotta put that, just get rid of that old person, man. Down to like what you eat, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody know our people, love pork, catfish, shrimp, and anything else that's
The lobster and crab, we doing
Lo-
it big. We had Red Lobster about to spend over $100 doing lobster and shrimp and steak.
I
Oh,
never
we
did
doing it
like
big.
lobster.
Go ahead.
But anyway, let me get to the next scripture. This is First Thessalonians.
So you through with the Ephesians? Putting off the old man? I got something there. Let me go in here with this.
Go ahead, Pops.
All right, this is Colossians 3 and 1. I'm going to do 3, 1, probably down to about 10. If ye be risen and Mashiach, seek those things which are above, wherein Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affection on things above, not on the things of the earth, like we were just saying, all this worldly shit. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mashiach in the Most High. So you're supposed to be dead to this, and your life is hid with Mashiach. So you trying to slide under the cover of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. You trying to slide under Yahweh Shai's cover, because that's the only cover that's going to be prevalent when this shit hits the fan. Okay, for the elect and the brothers that's listening and in the know, they know what we're talking about. For you 2/3, you need to try to get in where you can fit in at, as far as these scriptures and these sit downs and all the GMS flooding of the truth and all these videos that's on here, and start trying to figure out as an Israelite what you got to do to try to get your life right on some order. Because like I said, it's being shifted, and the last sets of grain and kernels are being gathered now and whatnot, because the scripture says that he's going to sift, I should say not shift, but sift, and no grain or kernel, which is actually an Israelite body, is going to be lost in the middle of this. So, if you think that you've got another 5, 10, 15 years to be able to try to figure this out, you're dead wrong. But let me go ahead. Dead wrong.
Right.
The word being dead. Okay, you dead in this stuff. Okay, so back to 3, Colossians 3 and 3. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mashiach in the Most High. When Mashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. So that's why we're trying to hide behind him, because when he comes back, we're hoping that we can be with him.
Yeah, okay. We're hiding behind him through these scriptures, because he is the word.
He is the word. Exactly.
So we're
John.
Oh, can I bring out something before you continue?
Go ahead.
On the verse 2, when it says set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth. When you look up affection, it goes back to the Greek word for phroneo, which means to have understanding, be wise. You know what I'm saying?
So you set your mind in understanding these scriptures,
right,
and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing when it comes to these scriptures. Because if you set your mind to, as they say, getting money, then this money is going to collapse. And now you just set your mind into getting money, but now the money collapsed. So now what you got? You got a handful of nothing. Okay, you grasping at airs, you grasping at straws now, because your money isn't worth anything. So now you're actually set up, because you done chased money so much. You're set up now that if you've got 2, 3, and I'm just being general. I mean, generous when it comes to numbers, because most of you Israelites ain't gonna have this kind of money laying around for the most part in a bank account anyway. But if you got $2 or $3 million in a bank, and now they telling you, well, we're actually only insured for 100,000, but we can go ahead on and let you have access for your whole 2 million if you take the chip and put it in your hand. Now you ready for the okie doke, okay? Because they don't have an actual money. The word insolvent means that. You've got $11 trillion worth of fucking bank accounts that's supposed to be able to be paid out, but you only got $1.4 trillion worth of actual paper money that you can pay out to. So this is all a credit scheme to begin with. So your ass is set up for you set up, as they like to say, the overplay for the underlay. You set up. You can't win on this unless you get up under this hedge with Yahweh Shai. Okay. You got anything else?
I was about to add Isaiah 33 and 6. Because the thing is, you need knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. So this Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So these scriptures is going to keep you stable, man, in Jacob's trouble, man. And the thing is, anybody can say that, you know what I'm saying, they read this and stuff like that, but they don't have that understanding, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to shoot for understanding, pray for understanding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Just like Solomon, he prayed for wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Not money and all this other stuff. He prayed for wisdom.
And the Most High gave the rest of it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, though.
So Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence. I hope I've said that right, but I probably didn't. And covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. Okay, so when we out there pushing this word to you 2/3 and things to this nature, and you reject it, scriptures say rebellion is a form of witchcraft. Okay, you've been mesmerized with this, and what you don't realize is when you watching the TV, your whole defense mechanism kind of is dropped to a lower state, and in that lower state, that's where they can get shit to kind of go into you and into your system and not know it. That's why a lot of times when they used to pump stuff on TV that would be true, but would be giving away the Illuminati, at the same time they'll put a laughter soundtrack behind it to make it where, look at him as a goofball. If somebody come along preaching Illuminati or 13 families or this type of thing, you need to think of him as a crackpot. So they put that soundtrack behind it. Richard Pryor was telling on the Illuminati when he told, with Paul Mooney sitting there at a roast that he did back in the 70s, that Paul Mooney was there when he did it, when he screwed his first faggot. And they put a wicked ass motherfucking laughter soundtrack, but what that was doing was getting people to drop their guard when it comes to homosexuality. You wind up then saying, as long as they don't approach me with it, I'm cool with it, or whatever. As long as they don't approach me. So you accepted it by saying, long as they don't approach me with it. Okay? When in actuality, you're supposed to be outraged and inflamed and just want to put this motherfucker to death. Yeah, okay? So putting off this old man and being and getting his spirit is understanding these scriptures, like he said, understanding the law, statutes, and commandments, and wisdom of what these scriptures are saying, and getting your mind set to be that, because that's going to be the only thing that's going to be the operating norm when Yahweh Shai comes back. Anything that's trying to operate outside of what this is actually saying, it's going to be getting sliced and diced and put to death. Okay? It's going to be getting sliced and diced and put to death. Okay? You think a faggot's going to be allowed in the kingdom? You think a dyke is going to be allowed in the kingdom? You think a motherfucker that's a pedophile going to be allowed in the kingdom? You think a motherfucker that's practicing bestiality is going to be in the kingdom? No. All this shit is going to be being put, sliced and diced and killed off. And with power and authority, so you understand, motherfuckers ain't playing. It ain't about no plaything and whatnot. Ruling with an iron thumb is an iron fist. So, covenants by idolatry. For which, okay, let me go back to 6. Colossians 3:6. For which things sake the wrath of God come on the children of obedience, in which ye also walked some time when ye lived in them. So we walked in these types of things. Broads, going, if she going, if she got a dude, don't matter, I'm going, I'm with her, and this, that, and other. We walked in all this stuff, So in being that, we had to put that off. And in putting that off, verse 8, but now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge. Like the brother was, like my son was saying, Bond was saying, after the image of him that created him. So this is what we're trying to put on. This is what you're supposed to be putting on. How you gonna put it on in one cloak? No. But you always practicing it. You always working toward that. You should always be working toward that. Okay? Because your ignorance level, as you be in this, your ignorance level drops more and more. And so you can't get that wink that the Most High gave you when you was ignorant. You're supposed to be putting all this off now and coming to the true light as to what it is, which is these scriptures. Go ahead.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5:22. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil. That's plain. You know what I'm saying? Any form or kind of evil, man, just stay away from it, man. Don't even try to, what do they say? Don't play with fire.
Yeah, don't try to see if you can skirt around the edges and whatnot. Still kind of have your fun with it, but
Right,
don't get burnt in the process.
Yeah, don't be like Michael Jackson in the Pepsi commercial playing with fire.
Playing with fire.
You're going to get burned.
Yeah, they blowing fire. Hey, he wasn't even playing with it. They was blowing fire around him, and he got himself caught.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians 5 and 6. It says, your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump. So you can be a new man. So you get rid of that whole old person. You can't be tips on. As ye are unleavened, for even Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. That's why in the beginning of the video we always say, to the brothers out there preaching, preaching with truth and sincerity. You know what I'm saying? That us being a new man.
Right. You're out there doing this in truth and sincerity. And that's what that's about. Okay? Because read that in the last two verses again.
Last two. Verse 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Put that old man off, put on the new man, because Mashiach has been sacrificed for us. Yeah. So he done put his blood on the line and did what it's gonna do. So now you can either come up under it and be able to be cleansed by it and do the work and do these things, or you're not going to have that. Because like I said, if you can slide up under that and be clean on that magnitude, or anointed in that magnitude, and have that, then you get these blessings and whatnot that's going to be brought to you. That's going to be part of the kingdom that's going to go to you. I've got a scripture here, back that up. Zechariah 8, I'm going to go 14 through 17. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, as I thought to punish you, which he did, when your fathers provoked me to wrath, say Yahweh of hosts, which is armies, and I repented not. So he didn't turn his wrath back from us. We dealt with that. We drunk them that cup of dregs. We dealt with that. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. So we putting this off because, first of all, this ain't shit to begin with, and two, we go get so much more in the kingdom, and he's looking forward to giving you that. Okay, but you got to show him on this side and put this shit off to the best of your ability, And as you like to say, if you pray and you fast and these types of things, he strengthens you and gives you the ability to get further and deeper into this. Okay? So again, I have thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah, fear ye not. So that's Jerusalem is just representing the southern kingdom, the northern kingdom, and the house of Judah is representing the southern kingdom. So he's talking about all of Israel. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, saith Yahweh. So, don't love a false oath. These preachers and that shit that they telling you, that shit ain't on point. Okay? These Israelite groups that's telling you you can do this, but an Edomite can make it. Or Zabak and his dumb shit. Or trying to now say that the mark of the beast is John 3:16. Or Nate ISUPK them or ISUPK or IUIC, whichever one he goes under. His whole charter is set up under Islam. His 501c3 charter has Islam printed on it. So he can't even claim to be an Israelite to begin with. Okay? So how you going to trust a motherfucker that is a cop, first of all, so you know when shit hits the fan, he's going to stand with that blue wall, because that blue wall is going to believe the motherfuckers that got the guns. So you really think that he's going to stand up there and say, no, these are my people, and be caught? Nah, he ain't going to be caught on that side with you. Okay? If he's got $4 or $5 million in the fucking bank account that he's able to get you suckers to go for, he ain't gonna have no problem taking that chip in his right hand. That's why he can't. That's why he's telling y'all that chip, or you can put it in your left hand, or you could this or that. He taught the name 20 years ago. Well, and now he'd say he don't know the name. So if he don't know the name, what happened to his brain then that he can't remember the name? 20 years ago he knew the name clean and clear, but now he don't know the name. Is he double-minded, or is something fucked up here in the beginning? Or is it all that?
He set up from the beginning.
He set up for the beginning. he set. So you can't deal with a cat like that. Okay? So with all that having been said,
Most how to put that delusion in.
Right. Okay, verse 17, Zechariah 8:17. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. Nate is imagining evil. Zabak is imagining evil.
Yeah, because anything that's going against the scriptures is
an evil. It's a fucking evil. So they're imagining evil, and they deceiving you with evil shit.
And rebellion is another form of witchcraft, and witchcraft is evil.
Evil. So, man, okay. For all these that I hate, okay. And love no false oath, for all these things that I hate, says Yahweh. So you got to put all this bullshit behind you and try to find out what's real when it comes to these scriptures. Pick that up and run with that, and run this race and run it hard. Okay, that's what you got to do. You got on to your next scripture.
This is Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. And
go ahead, read it again. Read it again. Read it from the beginning.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
I'm begging you, brothers, but read again. I beseech you.
I beseech you.
I beg you. Go ahead.
That I beseech you.
Which means I beg you.
Therefore, brethren.
My brethren, go ahead.
By the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
By the mercies, because he showed us mercy by giving us Yahweh Shai. He showed us mercy. He showed us mercy. He gave us a way out of this quicksand that we was in. That basically that's what it boils down to. You sinking in quicksand. Here's your rope. Here's your rope. Okay, well, guess what? Anybody know anything about quicksand? Guess what? You can't fight in it. You kind of just got to use your arms and your shoulders and your back and pull yourself out of it. Okay, so here it is. So go ahead.
Holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
Present yourself holy, reasonable, holy. Go ahead, read it again.
Holy, acceptable,
okay,
unto Yahweh.
So present yourselves holy and acceptable. And how can you put on have a filthy rag and make it acceptable? First of all, you got to put off all that old shit too, and then you got to bust your ass as far as doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that doesn't mean that that's going to actually make you right. But what that means is you're doing what you told, so you don't have that rebellion, which is a form of witchcraft working in your life. You're told to read these scriptures, meditate on these scriptures, understand these scriptures. Okay, listen to the men that have been set up above you to guide you in what you need to be doing. So since it said the videos, put these videos out. Go out there on the weekend or whatever day of the week that you're scheduled to go out there and push this truth and show the people their transgressions. These are all things that are reasonable service. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. So you don't take it being in season, out of season. You don't take a season off. Okay, you don't take a season off because you don't know when the elect may wind up come across it. That spot that your camp is set up for to get that truth at that moment. His page say the truth is here. You never know when they go show up there and get the truth. But you got to be there, studied up, and able to give an answer to the best of your ability in the process. That's part of your reasonable service, according to the scriptures. Go ahead.
And you, the next scripture I'm about to bring out bounce off of presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, which is Sirach chapter 35 verse 1. He that keepeth the law, which is the, you know what I'm saying, the scriptures, the laws, that keepeth the law, bringeth offerings enough. He that taketh heed to the commandment offereth a peace offering. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And,
Go ahead.
And the thing is, like at one point in time, you know what I'm saying, Israel was sacrificing animals and stuff like that. And the Most High is like, you know, Jake tried to be real slick and be like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck this bitch in the ass tomorrow. I got like a couple lambs in the back, you know what I'm saying? A couple little things, sacrifice real quick, and that get rid of that. It's like, nah, you present your bodies as a living sacrifice. So you gotta go out there and do the work, man, and to get, you know, to get rid of a lot of sins, man. You gotta uphold the law. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
you gotta apply it to your life.
You gotta apply it to your life. Since you went there, you made me kind of jump around a little bit.
So like,
no, it's okay. It's okay. Let me jump over here then. Since you went there with it, I'm gonna go here with it.
I'm gonna keep reading.
No, I guess I'm gonna get right back to you.
Okay,
get right back to you. Okay, because you're saying about putting these sacrifices in. Okay. This is the Leviticus 22 and 19 to 20. Ye shall offer as your own will a male without blemish. It's talking about the sacrifices. Okay. Well, now the sacrifice as far as animals and whatnot has been done away with. So you can't slide on that one no more. So the sacrifice has already been made, which is Yahweh Shai, which is a much better sacrifice, which has got a much better covenant coming with it. But right now, you trying to get up under that blood of His covenant, because it tells you, ye shall offer at your own will a male without blemish of the beeves of the sheep or of the goat. But whatsoever hath the blemish, that shall ye not offer. for it shall not be acceptable for you. So, how you going to make this acceptable? By trying to deal as best you can with this, okay? And look for the mercy, and look for the hope, because that's all you got. That's all you got is hope and mercy. That him being true to his word, hopefully you did enough. But actually it's actually a gift. So that's what Ephesians is telling you in 2 and 9. Let least any man shall be able to boast. So it's actually a gift. But it's a gift that comes with some things you got to do in the process to be able to get that gift. Okay? Go ahead. What you got?
Verse 2. He that requiteth a good turn, a good turn offereth fine flour, and he that giveth alms sacrificeth praise. Verse 3. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to Yahweh, and to forsake unrighteousness is a proper
Appropriation.
Yeah, appropriation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's been a sacrifice that's been paid for this. Okay. But it requires you to put off this old man. It requires you to put away this world and this lifestyle. It requires you to come out of the mindset of Egypt. You ain't gonna leave America or Babylon or that, because America's Egypt, Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, all this shit balled up into one. So you ain't gonna be able to put this off as in getting away. You put it off up here. Okay, that's what Revelation is saying. I know thy poverty and tribulation, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of those that say they are the Jews and are not. You rich. You rich if you understand these scriptures and you can deal on these scriptures. Okay, and this is what fuels you. This is what makes you want to go. Okay, you want to go out there. So the best time of my week is the weekend when I get a chance to go out there. Whether or not I get a chance to speak a little or speak a lot, being out there with my brothers, pushing it, and there's been a lot of times, like I said, I'm out there with Gary and the Mashapot, and I had a couple situations a few weeks ago where I dealt with people on the side. I can't wait to see it. I'm like, this didn't even come up on camera, because they were 2/3. They wasn't out there but to try to tell me what it is they do, offering the sacrifice of foods. I didn't let that come up on camera. I'm trying to edify the elect. I'm trying to wake up to 1/3. That's what my job is. Condemnation, I can pull your ass to the side and let's see what you think you know then. Okay? Let me start forcing a couple pieces of meat down your throat since you say you know these. Let's have a conversation then. Okay? Brothers, give me a couple scriptures and whatnot so I can show them what he don't know. And you know what I always get? One old lady, you mean? She was walking away. I said, okay, well, let me ask you a question. And if Jesus was such a nice guy, why they kill him? All she could do is turn around and walk away. That's right. It wasn't always about nice. If you come up here and you've got the right attitude, we're more than happy to answer whatever question. If you come up there with the offering sacrifice of foods, most GMS camps go twist your ass a new one. Okay, they go twist you a new one. Whether or not they go be mean and loud, or whether or not they go be soft and smooth, and you don't even realize you've been cut with 1,000 razor blades. But you go get cut. You go get cut. And if you got some jacked up ass doctrine that you're putting out there on the internet, guess what we do? We the Sentinels. We sit up on the fucking watchtower and we look. We look for that shit. We look for that shit. We don't necessarily go looking, but for some reason the Most High always make it come across our path so we can slice the shit. That's the way he do. But that's putting off this old man. Once you dealing in the spirit and put off that old man, he starts saying, okay, I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. And since the scripture tell you that a man's way is ordered, he don't know his own way.
Yeah, the man's goings is not of his own.
Not of his own. There's no telling what to make you hit this corner or flip that on the internet or whatever. but Apostle Tahar do it all the time. There's been times I've caught stuff, and like I said, in our group me, brothers are always putting up jacked up shit in the scripture that cuts it. Okay? And then we can make a decision whether we want to go back into it or not. But like I said, this is all about putting off that new man, putting off that old man, putting up and picking up the new one. So I'm gonna end it with this scripture, real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 40, 43 and 30.
Oh, Ecclesiastes?
Yeah, Ecclesiastes Sirach, 43 and 30. When ye glorify Yahweh, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed, and when ye exalt him, pour forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. So put that old man off, push this truth as hard as you can, whatever your measure is. Different guys gonna have different sets of measure. Push your measure as hard as you can. And with that, that's all can be asked. Okay? But with that being said, I'm going to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, again to the apostles, the elders of GMS out in New York, and the elders out there. I send double honors. And to you brothers around the world pushing this truth in sincerity, uncut, unfiltered, I send salutations. Shalom.